This is the Les Naiman Show.
People in this country are brainwashed by the media.
I felt this thrill going up my leg.
I'm almost speechless with a comment like that.
The voice of liberty in Louisville.
So you tell me, sir, why do you think he's the best president?
Now, Les Naiman on 970 WGTK.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Les Naiman Show on 970 WGTK. And I'm here with you every Sunday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to call the show tonight, you can reach us at 502-571-2428. That's 502-571-2428. And for any of my out-of-state friends, you could live stream us on 970 WGTK on your computer. Another week has come by, another week of turmoil, another week of craziness, another week of apologies from the Obama administration. This week we had Assistant Secretary of State Posner apologizing to the Chinese communists about our law in Arizona. How low can this administration go, folks? How low does this administration get on their knees to apologize to the rest of the world? And how low has the United States fallen in the eyes of the world? From once a beacon of light and hope of freedom and liberty to now a country filled with political correctness and a president, possibly a usurper who has no right to even be in the office, being that he is not a natural-born citizen, and we'll cover that more next week. I'm going to have a special show next week on Obama the fraud. This show right now, I feel that the United States of America is on a precipice. We're on the precipice of a total disaster and meltdown, which will fall into the abyss of misery and darkness that covers the rest of the world of socialism and misery. This week, as you saw, the apology from the State Department to China. We also had the pathetic response by the Democrats to President Calderon in Congress. Tom, can you play those clips? Tom, the Calderon clips, please.
I strongly disagree with the recently adopted law in Arizona. It is a law that not only ignores a reality that cannot be erased by decree, but also introduces a terrible idea using racial profiling as a basis for law enforcement. And that is why I agree with President who said the new law carries a great amount of risk when core values that we all care about are breached. I don't want to deepen the gap between the feelings and emotions between our countries and our people. I believe in bridge. I believe in communication. I believe in cooperation. We must find together a better way to face and fix this common problem.
And I believe he needs to shut his big mouth and go back to Mexico City. I believe that this man has no right to be telling the United States of America and our government what we should do in the state of Arizona. I believe that this man is presiding over a hellhole. If it wasn't for the people of the United States that go to Mexico, to Cancun, and places like that, propping up their stinking economy, they wouldn't have a damn thing. So I believe Mr. Calderon should go back to Mexico City and maybe work on his own country and maybe try and build some economy there, other than the economy, the $1 billion a month that goes back to Mexico. $1 billion a month. Ladies and gentlemen, that's $12 billion a year out of the people of out of the people's pockets of this country who could be having the jobs that these illegal immigrants take from our people. It's bad enough that we have tin horn dictators come to our shores, like happened 2 weeks ago with President Ahmadinejad, the guy from Iran, demanding that the United Nations be able to count the nuclear weapons of the United States arsenal. And what did President Obama say about that? There you go. That silence is deafening that came from the Obama administration. And the most disgusting part of the Calderon speech at both houses of Congress is that the Democrats gave him standing ovations. Well, I think the Democrats need to go to Mexico and help him build up his country, or ruin his country, better yet, because that's what they're doing here. This is just unbelievable that a man could come to the Capitol and speak down to our country the way he did and get a standing ovation from every Democrat in attendance. Many Republicans didn't show up, and they even had the Democrats put their pages, the Democratic pages, in 4 or 5 rows. So they were cheering, too. Ladies and gentlemen, the liberals, the Democrats, the socialists, the communists in our government, they don't want borders. They don't want any borders separating us. And many of our enemies only know that. This is what they want. They want a world global unity. President Obama needs to remember that he's the president of the United States. He took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States from enemies far and within. But the biggest problem, folks, is that he's the enemy within, him and the Democratic Party. Every single one of them. There's not one Democrat left in Congress. There's not one Democrat left in this country who I've seen will stand up for what is right, for what America stands for. Not a single one. If anybody can enlighten me on who might be out there that's done anything positive for this country in the last 3 years, please give us a call at 571-2428. You know, what the heck is going on here? This regime and their minions want a new world order with no major role for the United States. They want to diminish and marginalize this country, as does the rest of the world. The United Nations, under the guise of helping to protect citizens of the world, is now planning, along with IANSA, the International Action Network on Small Arms, to enact a small guns ban treaty. And that was signed by Hillary Clinton to go forward on this treaty to be probably put into force by 2012. If this worldwide treaty is signed and ratified, the U.S. Constitution will forever be moot. It will be no longer relevant. It will be undermined by this world treaty, forcing all Americans to turn in their small arms and small weapons or face imprisonment. This is in conjunction with an automatic weapons ban, which will most certainly follow, and which will probably be the last straw for all Americans who care about their liberties. There is no way that Americans will give up their weapons without a great battle. I can tell you that right now, folks. We are not Great Britain. We are not going to just go quietly into the night and give up our freedom and give up our liberty and give up our sovereignty. This regime will continue to bombard us with every piece of legislation to debate, keeping us busy while the truly devious plots to destroy our country will be done in the dead of night or behind closed doors via executive orders or regulations for the EPA, the SEC, the FCC, or whatever other regulatory committee wants to put forth, all the while giving our country's wealth away to the International Monetary Fund or bailing out countries like Greece who don't have enough money to give their people because they've promised them things that they cannot come forth with. This is what's happened to Europe. This is what's going to happen here in America, folks. It will make Greece look like a weekend in Hawaii. I'm telling you right now. The people who are on the government doles, who are being given entitlements, the SCIU will all want what they want because they want what they want, and to hell with us. And we, the taxpayer, are the stupid dupes to have to pay these derelicts that are in government, these vermin that just want to suck off the teat of America. I'm sick of it. You should be sick of it. You're listening to the Les Naiman Show. Please give us a call at 571-2428. We have some great guests coming up. In studio, I have Jim Waters of the Bluegrass Institute, Kentucky's free market think tank, and I will have Joy Tiz on right after the break. So Joy will be talking about political correctness, her new book, and as I say, this has been a very, very tough week. I'm sure my two guests want to pitch in with that. Jim, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great, Les. You know, I was just thinking about how all these other countries want to diminish our freedom, but they want our money when they're in trouble. They want us to bail them out. So, that's what we're seeing in Greece and everywhere else. I mean, they want our money, but they don't understand that our prosperity is connected to our sovereignty and our liberty here. So, I don't know. They're messed up in the mind or something. Oh, I know.
So. And Joy, how are you this evening?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm sorry, I got a little overblown there. I went a little long there, but we'll keep you on as long as you want to stay on. So tell us about your new book.
Actually, it's last year's book now. The new one's coming up, but this one was Obama Nuts, a Cult Leader Takes the White House. I think the title kind of says it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
It explores the machinery that allowed this to happen to us.
What is your take on the